Mid-Hudson News and Bold Gold Media Catskills News has produced a two-part profile of the new police chief in Monticello. The first part will have Chief J. Corley talk about why he wanted to become a cop to begin with and his life in law enforcement. He also spoke about being an African American working as a cop in Sullivan County. In part two, Corley talked about his aspirations for the Monticello Police Department and developing an improved relationship with the community. Here is part one with Chief Corley.
I pretty much knew, I wanted to do some type of law enforcement from a very young age because, again, I grew up in a household with a father who, was in law enforcement. I had an uncle who was in law enforcement. I have another uncle. These men were older and obviously they're retired. But, I grew up in that environment. So going to police events, I remember, even as a young man, 10, 11 years old, going with my father to police retirements, these big giant police retirements in New York City, in the mid 80s, So it was always an influence in my life from a very young age because there were always police officers around my house.
I asked Chief Corley about being African American and working as a cop in Sullivan County.
My father came out of the Korean War, and it probably was a challenge for him, as an African American. But I tell people my father fought that fight, so that I wouldn't have to. So by the time I came up and I was talking about going into law enforcement, I had a lot of support.
I'm Jim Sebastian for MidHudsonNews.com and Bold Gold Media Catskills News.